Today we're going to make a special treat on the flat top grill. I have a nice huge piece of salmon here. Now this is farm raised Atlantic salmon, the product of Norway / Canada, so that's the part of the ocean that it's actually farm raised in, and it's processed in the US. This is about 2.5 pounds. It costs about $12 a pound. It's about $27, $28 for this piece. Now, you can see it's still in the package, but when I go over the places where the bones would be, I don't feel any bones at all. So I buy this from Wegmans because I like the quality of their salmon. Let's take a look. Now it does have skin on the back side. We could make a move here and take the skin off, but I'm going to leave it on and just put that side down on this flat top grill. So I'm heating it up right now to the highest temperature just to get it started. When this is warmed up, I'm going to add some avocado oil and I'll show you how to start cooking it. Alright, before I lay the salmon on there, I want to show you. I have about 2 tablespoons of fresh cracked black pepper that I just cracked, and I have some brown sugar. And I'm going to mix this up. I'm going to put in here about a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. I'm going to mix it with the black pepper, and this is going to be our topping on the salmon. I like the black pepper in there. It really gives it a little bite, and the brown sugar, the sweetness. Alright, let's get started. Now I have this turned up. It's 570 degrees is the top. We can adjust this as we go, but I like to give it a good hot start. Take a little avocado oil and spread it around, because this is the part where the skin is going to touch. Alright, now let's take this huge piece of salmon, and you can see they tucked the tail under, but let's see if we can get it all to fit on here. The hot spots on this grill are the really dark spots. That's where I wish I could get the thickest part of the meat. That looks pretty good to me. Now we want to spread this on the top real quickly, because this does cook faster than you think. Now when you put this on, I like to pat it down, get it right down on the meat of the fish. It'll melt and it'll spread out, but let's give it a good peppery sweet start. This is one of my favorite ways to cook the salmon on the cedar plank as well. I just press onto the top some pepper and brown sugar. You can do some different things like pineapple salsa or pesto. You can add pesto instead of this. This is my absolute favorite way. We won't be turning it over, so we got to cook it all from this side. Okay, finish up with the, you can see we're going to have that melting into all parts of this fish. Now I'm going to add a cover. I just have a large baking pan here, and I'm going to put this over top so that the heat stays in. If this was a piece of fish that I would flip over, I wouldn't need to do this, but we're going to let it cook from the grill all the way up. Now let's give this about 5 minutes and we'll come back and check it. Alright, I'm going to show you how it's doing here. This is 2 minutes into the cooking. Look at that. Now you can see how the cooking is taking place in the sides of the fish. So we still got a little way to go, and look at how the brown sugar is melting down into the fibers of the fish. Alright, we're going to keep that at a high heat. If it looks on your grill like it's too hot, just turn it down a little bit, go slower. But I like to cook it pretty quickly because we don't want to overcook the salmon. The best part is to eat it at the right temperature. All right, it's getting a little smoky, so it's cooking nicely. But the fat from the fish is also coming out here. So I'm turning the heat off the griddle and we'll let it continue to cook. All right, I'm going to lift the lid up here. Wow, look at that beautiful piece of fish. Isn't that nice? Now, let's show some things about the temperature. The perfect way for me to eat a piece of fish is 145 degrees. Now let's take the thinner parts down here. That's way over 145, right at the very edge. But let's talk about where most of the main meat is going to be. Here we're at 137 degrees. Can you see that? We're at 140 degrees. So that cooks fast and it also rises a little when we're finished. Now here we're at 140. So we're going to take this off because we can't leave it on a grill like this. It'll just keep cooking. So I'm going to ask Rick to hold the pan for me here and help me out. And let me loosen this up. And sometimes the skin will come right off. Sometimes it will not, and then you can easily peel it off. Alright, I think we got it here. I'm going to have a couple pieces. That's quite okay. I wanted to show you a nice inside part of it anyway. So this right here is exactly what you want the salmon to look like when you taste it. It should be just barely cooked. And look how tender. Right there. If you can do this to your piece of salmon, you will serve a perfect fillet. And your guests will say they never ate anything this good. I'm going to taste it. It's really... Oh. This is one of my favorite foods ever. Salmon with brown sugar and cracked black pepper. There's nothing better than that. And when you can cook it perfectly like this, your family and friends are going to think it's their favorite food too. Give it a try on your flat top grill. I think it's a great way to cook salmon. Thanks for watching.